Hello? I almost just said good morning. It's definitely not morning. It's 4 o'clock. Get with it. All right, how is everyone? Are we good? I hope so. So my niece has left. And I told you that after she was gone, I'd pop back on and do the other 3 little woven wagon wheels for you. She really didn't want to leave. It was so cute. She's like, I really don't want to go. I said, well, we'll see you soon. And she's like, when? I was like, I don't know. But soon. And she's like, yeah, but when? I was like, goodness. All right, so I've already kind of showed you how to do the wagon wheels in the first video. So if you have questions about that, go watch the one from before. They're not up on YouTube yet. I've just checked. It wasn't that the yesterday's and this morning's weren't public. It was that there was an error uploading them, so I have to do it all over again, unfortunately. But I did tell you that I would do the 12-strand like tie-dye flower. That's what I'm going to call it. So it's just 1 strand of each color. You could also do less strands if you wanted to. What I mean of 1 strand is like not 1 strand, but like 1 6-strand bit. Do you know what I mean? But you could do like 3 of each color if you wanted to, or if you could do 3 of all 3 colors. Like, it's totally up to you. There's so many ways that you can configure these. I feel like I'm on QVC. You know what I mean? Like, there's so many ways to wear this sweater, guys. Just go with it. And then the other thing I said I was going to show was the no middle flower. So that's where you put all of the spokes touching in the middle, and it makes it so that you have the weaving and thread all the way in the middle. So those are the 2 that I'll show now. David's just gone out with Jessie for another 30 minutes, so I'm free. I can do whatever I want. So let's see. I'll probably should I do these 2 light ones? They're kind of like the same color though. So I feel like if I do them here, maybe they won't be shown very much, you know? What if I did 3 of each? Just went a little bit wild. How's everyone? Are we good? Are we all right? I'm just sorting them all out in the colors that we need. So we need, if I do 3 of each color, then that's 9 strands. And it's not quite 12, obviously, but maybe you'll get a lot of different colors in there. Yeah, is everyone all right? Have we had a good day so far? We did so much stuff today with Quinn. So much stuff. We did playing. We did these little bead things that I found. Do you guys remember these from when you were a kid? I remember them from when I was a kid. So we did some of those. And yeah, we played, we had lunch. We did all kinds of stuff. All right, and let me get 3 strands of this darker color. I actually think this is gonna look really cool when it's all done. Yeah, we had a nice day. She's so fun. She's at such a fun age because 5 years old is like, they know a lot of stuff, you know? Kids are fun, but they're exhausting. Ain't that the truth? David was like, I'm ready for a nap. And I was like, Jessie would like it if you took her for a walk. And he was like, I was thinking the same thing. I was thinking I could go take her for a walk. And then when I came back, like, chill on the sofa. I was like, yeah, that's cool. Okay, so let's do this one. I'm going to do 7 spokes. And I'm just going to use 6 strands of like a scrap that I had from this one. Because actually, it doesn't matter. We're going to use all colors and all the flowers anyways. Let's do 7 instead of 9. for the spokes. So 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7. So this is going to start just like the other ones with the straight stitches. I probably could have done 9 for this one too, but because I have more strands. So I've got 9 strands and not 12. And that's because I took 3 strands of each of the 3 colors. And the 3 colors are 1025, which is the darker pink. And then we have 8 and we have 9. Oh, yay. So I've got 3 strands of each. They're just on the side here. You can kind of see right there. And I'm just going to use this scrap thread that I have from here to do the spokes. So remember, we have to do the spokes first because that's what we're going to weave in and out of. And any way you do these spokes is fine. They're just straight stitches. Hello, just sitting to start today's lesson. Oh, fun. Okay, and since I'm not going to use this right here for the actual rows, because I'm going to use these 9 threads that I've just prepared, I'm just going to snip that off. Okay, let's thread our needle, make a knot, and get stitching. These are so cute all together. They look so fun. I have a question. You mentioned number 9, but the pattern doesn't ask for it. Did you mean 10? Mine says 0009, but they might have subbed it with 10. Let me see. Yeah, this is what mine says. 0009. And then we have 8. And then I threw the paper away, but this one is 1025. Yeah? Yeah, I know that I have to do it this way though, because otherwise, if I don't do it in the morning, then it gets quite late. And it's nice to have it done and uploaded onto YouTube for when people do wake up in other parts of the world. So I'm very sorry that it's 5 a.m. in the States, but it's just the way it is. In the file, I think it says 8. So you should say 8, have 8, 10, and 1025. Let me see about the I don't think I actually printed the file though. But they might have just subbed it, but use the one that's the closest, really. I mean, it's not a really huge deal if it says something different. It's just loading now. Let's have a little gander. Let's see what we've put on here. Okay, they totally do have 10 and not 9. So you guys have 1025, which is the darker red. Like that. And then you should have 8 and then 10, which is funny because they've definitely sent me 9. But I mean, it really doesn't matter, to be fair. You know, like the colors are so similar that like it's really not that big of a deal. And actually, if you put 8 and 9 right next to each other, they're so similar, like they're almost the same, and you can see here. So the 1025 is the darker red color, and that is in the pattern because I'm looking at it right now. So there's that. So I've got 9 strands because I did 3 of each color. And then hopefully this will look like that like tie-dyed kind of look that I was showing you before. Okay, so there still seems to be some confusion. these are the 3 colors that we're going to use for these 5 here. So it doesn't matter which ones you use. You can use any of these. You can use 8, you can use 9 or 10, or you can use 10, 25. It really doesn't matter. This is like a choose your own adventure situation. So if you want to do some straight stitches like this one and make all 5 of your flowers like this one, that's totally fine. If you wanted to do the woven wagon wheels, you can do that. You can do them all one color, like the dark red one from a previous pattern that I've shown. You can do the 2 colors like I did this morning, in which case you can use any of the 2, any 2 of these. Or you can do 3 of each of the colors and make them like the tie-dye, what I'm calling a tie-dye rose, which is this one here. So it really doesn't matter what color you use or which ones that you pick. I'm just showing you a bunch of different ways that you can do it, because a lot of people find that they get really tired of these woven wagon wheel, oh my gosh, every time, woven wagon wheel roses, because they think they can only look one kind of way. They think that they can only look like the dark red, one color all the way there to the edge. Obviously I didn't finish this, so it would be filled in with French knots, but yeah, people seem to get a bit bored of them because they think, well, you can really only do one color. You can really only do so many things with them, you know, or there's only so many things you can do, I think is the right phrase. But actually there's lots of things that you can do. You can change the colors up. You can make them go, make the spokes go all the way in the middle to the center. You can use one of each color. And they really do look so different, like as you're stitching them, you know? Just make them look a little bit different. So there really is a lot that you can do with them. And for them being such like a simple stitch, I feel like people look over them a lot. You know? Do you know what I'm saying? Oh, thank you for that. So what's the stitch said? You're such a wonderful and encouraging teacher. Thank you for being you. Oh. Well, it's the truth, isn't it? You can do it a lot of different ways. And I think some people get a little bit like too stuck on the pattern. They get a bit like, well, what's the right way? Just tell me what's the right way, when actually there's lots of right ways. That's why I'm always a bit wary of people who are like, this is the best way, or this is like the best kit, or this is the best pattern, or, you know, the best whatever. Because it's like, well, just because you like it doesn't mean it's the best. Like, people have different opinions of what the best is. The best to me might not be the best to you. So I'm always a little bit like, I'm not calling myself the best, because I'm not. Lots of people do it different ways. Lots of people stitch different ways. So lots of different styles, lots of different ways to teach. Like, there's so much. There's just so much. So yeah, I like to show a bunch of different ways and then try, experiment. So this is nine strands. I've got 3 strands of each of these. What I should have done it is 4 strands of each, because then it would have been 12 and it would have been nice and chunky. So yeah. I totally get, like, if it's your first time. Oh, actually, yeah. When it's the first time, I like to follow. Yeah. So I totally get that. And that's why we did just a really simple one for the beginning. Then I said, if you want to change colors, this is how you do it. So you can always just follow the directions. But just know that's not the only way to do it, you know? Do you know what I mean? Do you know what I mean? Someone I know says that a lot, and I can't think of who it is. Do you know what I mean? Maybe it's someone on television, actually. What size needle is that? So this is an antique needle. I got it in an antique sewing box that I bought at a charity shop like ages ago when I first came to England. But there is John James Needle Company. They're on Instagram. They've got a free PDF that you can download. I've downloaded it, and this needle doesn't match any of those. But I think that on Anchor, they recommended a size 7 needle if you're going to like purchase from them. And I know that there is a DMC pack 1 to 5 that people really like, or Chanel needles. Some people really like those because they have a really big, long eye. Let me see if I have one here. That's not it. That has not a sharp tip. These ones. So the Chanel needles have big, long eyes like this, which is really easy for threading. Actually, I have a great hack with paper that I use with these needles if you really can't get it through. But I haven't found any exactly like this. So I'm a bit bummed because if I ever lose this needle, I'm going to have a really hard time stitching. But yeah, check John James if you really want to see all the different size needles. And they print out, when you print the needle guide, they print out at exactly the same size that the needle is actually like in real life, which is really nice because you can literally like put your needle right up to the paper and see what it is, you know? So if you ever have a problem, or if you're like, oh no, I found this needle, it's perfect, I don't know what it is, you can find it from their PDF. It's a free PDF on their website, super easy to get to. Just look up John James. So I don't even think I'm going to need a stem stitcher on this one because it's quite nice and thick. And almost all the spokes are covered. I think this is so cute though. I really like this. And you want to just keep going around. Okay, so what else we're going to do today is the one where all of the spokes go straight in. So there's no hole in the middle. So that will be the next one. Let me see if I can do just like a couple more stitches because I can still see some. There we go. And let's just put it down like that. Whoa. That didn't want to happen, did it? Now, the more strands that you have, and if you don't make a needle change, then it will kind of pull like that when you go through. So just be a little bit careful of that. Make sure that when you're stitching, your fabric is tight. You don't want to be stitching on... Sorry. You don't want to be stitching on like fabric that's like wavy in your hoop like that. Okay, just wiping my nose, of course. All right, I think this is my favorite one so far. Don't they look so nice? So like I said, this one is 3 strands of all 3 colors. All 3 colors. And you kind of get that like tie-dye kind of look. They're so fun. All right, let's do the next one. So the next one is where all the spokes touch in the middle. Okay, so maybe we'll do it on just like this little baby one. This one just right here. I make it like a really small, dark moment. So I'll just use one color. I'll do this one. And we'll do 5 strands for, or 5 spokes for this one. I do really like these flowers, but some people really, really hate them. So I always feel obliged to like give a little caveat. Like if you don't love them, it's okay. You do not have to. Lots of people try them and they're like, nope. Yeah, like not gonna happen. And that's all right. Like you don't have to love every stitch. Okay, so for this one, you do a dot right in the middle, or as close to the middle as you can. And you're gonna do 5 spokes coming out from this. So let me just turn this because I can't actually rest my hand on anything here. It's gonna drive me nuts. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. Hello from Ashley. Hi, Ashley. All right, so with this one, like I said, all of these spokes are going to go to the center. So every single spoke is going to go through the center hole. And when I stitch close to the edge, I like to be a little bit careful because sometimes it's easy for the fabric to get a bit loose there because you're like pulling it right to the edge. Okay, not perfect, but who is? All right, so we're gonna do, this is a 7-inch hoop. So we're gonna do up close to the middle, all right? And then again, I like to go under first, but that's just my preference. You can go over first too. And this one goes quite quickly because there's only 5. So it's kind of like, whoa, this is like taking shape before my eyes. That was so corny. And if it's a really small, you can do even 3 spokes if you've got a really tiny one that you really want to, you know. Sometimes, oh my gosh, no. No. Because sometimes 5 is just too many. Come on, man. I remember one time I was talking with a friend and she's like, I can never figure out how to get woven wagon wheels to work on bigger roses because the 5 spokes, they just don't work well. And I was like, then use 7, or use 9, or use 11. And they were like, oh, what? And I was like, yeah, for sure. Just use more spokes. I forget who it is now. It might have been Red from Nerds and Needles, actually. I feel like we had that discussion before. I love all the wagon wheels. I just did a 12-strand one with yellow and orange. I bet you that's so pretty. The yellow and the orange. But it looked like a sunset. Let's see what else. Are you going to do any sneak peeks of the next paid stitch along? I was excited to see that coming next. Yeah, so I have... who was I showing that to? Maybe it was in the live with Kirsty, actually. So the next one that I want to do is actually a little bit more advanced. It's got more plants in it, and it's kind of like a girl sitting in a chair. And there's like some shelves and some books and stuff. And I really want to do that one, but I'm a little bit scared that people are going to think it's too much, even though it would be 4 weeks, like my normal stitch along. So this one's only 2 weeks. Normally they're 4 weeks. And yeah, I like to always put like a little bit of something a little bit different in, but I can't figure out what the different thing is in that one yet. It might be watercolor. It might be like, I don't know. I did show it. I think I did show it in my stories once, but I think I showed the full thing. I can just show y'all here. In the live with Kirsty. I'll just show you guys too. But I'm always worried that it's like not going to be good enough, you know? Or like there's nothing in there that's like, wow. Or there's nothing in there that's like, oh my gosh. Okay, let me zoom out so you're not like straight up in there in my iPad. This is what it looks like. Sorry. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is kind of what it would look like. again, I kind of want to put like a cat or like a little dog like laying there or something, or like more books on the shelf, and like really like fill it up. But I'm a little bit worried that people are going to think it's too much. Sorry, I thought I was going to cough again, so I moved away. And I want to do the back like fully watercolored with stitching over top of it. So it's going to be fully stitched. The entire thing is going to be stitched. And it would have to be like an 8 or a 9-inch hoop. I don't think it could work for less. Because look, oh my gosh, I'm giving all my secrets away. What am I doing? Ugh. Okay, so this is a 9-inch hoop, all right? And just look how small some of the details would be on a 9-inch hoop. Like this cactus is like the size of my fingernail. Like it's so small. So I feel like the stitches would have to be, like you'd have to have it in a bigger hoop for you to be able to do all the stitches properly and to like stitch it all up, you know? So we'll see. We'll see if it makes the cut or not. It's just an idea I'm playing with, but I feel like it could be really fun. I think the overwhelming thing from here is let's do it. Yeah. Oh, okay. Lots of people seem to like it. Let me just scroll up real quick. Love that. Love it. Love it. Do it. Love it. That's so cute. It's so beautiful. Oh my gosh. Okay. Wow. All right. Okay. Oh, all right. 9-inch looks great. Love. Okay. All right. I feel a little bit better about it now, because the thing that I don't want to do is make something that's only going to be okay for like a fourth or a fifth of the people, you know? Because I mean, not only is it my job, but like I want to stitch things that people want to stitch. Does that make any sense? Like I like to teach people and stitch things that people are excited about. So like if people are like, nah, then I'm like, nope, let's go back to the drawing board and do something else. Because if people aren't interested, then why? What's the point? Like I can stitch that by myself, you know? Amelia, I'll buy it even now. Oh, that's so nice. You guys are so kind. But like I want it to be something that's like people like, because like I said, like I can't do a stitch along by myself. I've said it numerous times before, you know? Like if it's a stitch along by myself, then I can just sit on the sofa and stitch it myself. I can't do it without you guys. So it kind of has to be something that's like people like. And then if you remember the Under the Sea one from last year, I'm thinking of like a jungle one for the Stitchalong in the summer. I think that could be quite fun. Yeah, okay, so I love the idea of doing a more advanced Stitchalong. It'll be fun to broaden our skills. Yes, you did catch a live. Would love to learn some more advanced stuff, as everyone says. Oh, thank you. Everyone says you're an amazing teacher. I'm so down. Yeah, so it would definitely be like a bit more intensive, not necessarily with the stitches, because I feel like there's only so many stitches you can do, you know? But it'll definitely be like the way that they're used. And come on, I just want to be done. Okay, there we go. You know? So I'm thinking for the summer to do like a jungle thing. So that'll be like quite like vibrant and obviously green, you know, obviously. And maybe have like a jaguar, or like, not a jaguar, a cheetah, or like a parrot, or like, you know, kind of like how we had a couple animals in the sea life one, like poking out. Maybe have like a little suggestion, like a cheetah tail falling down or something like that. Could be quite cute. All right, let's see here. It's been 30 minutes, but I'm going to go ahead and do the last one anyways, because it's going to be one of these flowers, and they go quite quickly. So I'm going to do the light color thread, and we'll just do some nice straight stitches here. A toucan. Yeah, that would be so fun. So now y'all are all jazzed up about the jungle. But it'll have to be in the summer for the jungle, though, because I just feel like it would be better. I think I might mix these two colors. No, I'll just do one. I'll just do one. I've got a mess here, guys. I've got a mess. All right. So I'm going to do another straight stitch flower over here. Quite a big one. You can do 4, what's it called? Woven wagon wheel roses if you want to. You don't have to do 2 and 2. You could do all 5 woven wagon, oh my God. Woven wagon wheel roses. Am I ever going to get it right? The answer is no. So yeah, you could totally do 4 or 5, all 5, or you can do 1 just to try. The power is in your hands. Do you guys see this? How every time I go down, it goes down? That's because there's a gap in my hoop here, which means that I have to keep making it tight, or else when I stitch it, it's going to be like, you know? I don't know what it's called in English, or maybe it's similar. Oh, colibri. Colibri. Ooh, what's that? I'm intrigued. Hannah, tell me. What's a colibri? I'm interested. But yeah, so that's my idea for the next one. A little bit more advanced. And then hopefully I can talk you guys into a jungle as well. It's a bird. A hummingbird. Ooh. That could be quite cute. I do not like this fabric situation. I need to take my hoop off and wrap it. Either with some washi tape or with some cotton. The inner hoop just right around here, because it's continuing to be loose. A colibri is a hummingbird. Thanks, Google. And a beach too. Ooh. How exciting to catch a live. Actually live. Yeah. Yeah, thanks, guys. A hummingbird would be super cute. I know someone else who did a hummingbird, actually. I can't think of who it is. That's like the only thing that I always worry about with embroidery artists, is that if I see it somewhere else, and if I can't add to it in like any kind of way, you know, like make it better or like more my style or anything like that than the one that I saw, then I won't do it. You know? Beach idea. Yep, I've got a beach hut idea too, with some colorful beach huts. The only problem with doing too many things is you get to get really far into the realm of satin stitch, where is you need to satin stitch everything. And not that I don't like satin stitch, but for Stitchalong, you kind of want to learn a lot of different stitches. Do you know what I mean? You don't want to just use the same stitch over and over and over again, because you don't really learn anything that way. You learn satin stitch, but you don't really learn anything else. So with the Stitchalongs, I always try to do a lot of different stitches, really mix it up. And then for just regular patterns in the shop, they might be heavy satin stitch or heavy something else, or, you know, you can really like just use whatever stitches you want, because like I had, if you remember the gridded flowers that I did, I've got a ton more of those. So many. I've got one with fruits and vegetables, and I've got one with desserts. I've got one with Harry Potter stuff. I've got one with things around the house. All the holidays. I had an Easter one, springtime one, autumn one. But the problem is that you get a lot of satin stitch with things, and a lot of times the thing also needs to be outlined. It doesn't need to be, but it would look better if it was. So that's another thing to think of. And by the time you've done all the satin stitch, and by the time you've outlined the thing, you might be there for an hour and a half. And that's hard, you know, to ask someone to do like 1.5 to 2 hours of stitching a night. That's a lot. What about a sampler stitch along? Yeah, that's fun. I know a lot of the stitch alongs that I do are pretty much like a sampler because we do so many different kinds of stitches. Yeah, so many. But I guess it just depends. Like, there's lots of samplers out there that are just that, like a line, you know? Like, this is a stem stitch. Do the stem stitch. Almost like, let me see if I have it for the abstract kit. You get a lot of videos like this. So I go over each of the different stitches that we learn in the abstract kit. So that's kind of like a sampler, but kind of not. There's just too many. So a sampler is more like where you just learn a bunch of different stitches. So oftentimes they'll have like lines like on your, what's it called? On your fabric, or you have to draw the lines sometimes. Sometimes they're pre-printed. And you just learn a different stitch every time. So it's like a little sample of each of the stitches. So sometimes they look like this, where they have like the shapes are already drawn for you, or you draw your own shapes, and you just go through and stitch over the lines. So like the satin stitch one was like this kind of shape, or like the long and short split stitch was this kind of shape, and you go through and you learn each one of the different stitches. So because I put so many stitches in the stitch-alongs, I do try and kind of make them like a sampler, but not as straightforward as being like, oh, enjoy. Amelia has to go run an errand. So have a good time. So yeah. And with that, I'm pretty much done too, because this is my last stitch. Ta-da! It almost looks like all the dark stuff is down here and all the light stuff is up here. But we can sort that out on details day. It'll be okay. All right, so I've just done another 40 minutes. Just chatting. And there we go. This will be saved as well, and I'm going to upload all of them to YouTube so that they'll all be there for you to have. I hate going out there in the Corona jungle. Aw. But yeah, so there's a bunch of different ways that you can do these. Don't fill in the circles because we'll do that on a different day. Today's still Thursday, believe it or not. So yeah, I'll talk with you guys tomorrow. Okay? I hope you have a lovely day. Bye.